Hello and welcome into the official SDFC podcast presented by Ford. I'm Kaila Burns-Hefner here with Marvell and Sal Zizo. Episode 22 of the podcast. We are heading into the last weekend of the regular season, guys. How do you feel?
It's going to be fun. Decision day. I'm really looking forward to it, just based on the fact that so many teams can finish in so many different spots. I mean, one goal could literally change who you play in the first round. The game matters for Portland a lot. It matters for San Diego. The Dallas-Vancouver game matters a lot. So it's going to be a fun way to end the season.
You know, I'm constantly excited about just having this team here in San Diego. So obviously I'm thrilled to little itty bits and pieces, but it just adds a little bit more knowing that this final day does have an impact on how we rank in the top four. And I think these guys, they don't need a lot of motivation, but I know that if they come out with a mentality of, boys, we need to win and we can get a really serious advantage, we could possibly get first in our conference, then I think it's going to give them a little bit of a nudge that they might need.
This is our last episode of the regular season. We'll stay with you guys for playoff coverage, but we have an incredible lineup for this last regular season podcast episode. We'll have a conversation with head coach Mikey Varas. We will also have a conversation with club founding partner Manny Machado coming up. But first, I want to chat with you guys. We had a bye this weekend, but other teams did not. A lot of important races going on in the Western Conference. We can talk about results for what's just happened around the league.
Yeah, no, one thing that as a San Diego fan, you're looking at keeping a close eye on was the LAFC results, right? And so now they played both games. They got 3 points out of it with a win against Toronto and a loss against Austin. So that puts them a point behind. And that point behind with the same amount of games played is huge because now if you win, you solidify first or second. There's no other way around that. So that's the game that I was games I was specifically looking at. So,
Yeah, sitting at 59 points, which is, like you said, one behind our 60 points in third place. Vancouver, with a win over Orlando, jumped us actually in the rankings. So now they're sitting at first place with 63 points in the Western Conference, but there's still ways and scenarios for this all to change, the entire top four seeds in the Western Conference to change. What are we looking at here?
We're looking for, again, us coming out performing the way we do, and we're just kind of hoping that Vancouver can just not have a 97th minute winner and just crush our hopes and dreams. I thought Orlando was going to hold on to it. But I think you have the whole scenarios over there on your laptop, so help us out a little bit.
You want me to read through them? All right.
Please.
So we are looking at, for San Diego FC, with a win versus Portland, plus a loss versus Dallas, a win, draw, or loss versus for LA FC versus Colorado. Wanted to say Galaxy so bad there. Plus a win, draw, or loss for Minnesota over LA Galaxy. That would secure the 1 seed for San Diego FC. That would be the scenarios that would have to happen. So basically for San Diego, all we have to focus on is just getting the win versus Portland to put yourself in that best chance to get the first seed. For the second seed option, with the draw versus Portland, this would also include Vancouver getting a win, draw, or loss versus Dallas. LAFC gets a draw or a loss versus Colorado. Minnesota, win, draw, or loss versus Galaxy. That would kind of put us in that second seed conversation. Third potential seed would be a draw versus Portland. Win, draw, or loss for Vancouver over Dallas. LAFC with a win versus Colorado. And then if Minnesota has a win, draw, or loss versus LA Galaxy, that's where we would be looking at that third seed. So a lot of possibilities and a lot to be alert for this weekend.
If you're looking for that top seed, you just got to hope to win and Vancouver get the loss. Yeah. And that's really if we get that done, then we get the first seed because at that point, it doesn't really matter what LAFC or Minnesota do because they're points behind you. So if you win, Vancouver loses, you have the tiebreaker, which is most wins. San Diego will have one more win than Vancouver. So that's the path to first place. That would be really cool to see. I'm hoping for that. But again, at the end of the day, playoffs, let's get them seeded and then let's go from there.
Yeah, you got to give credit to this team for setting themselves up for success and getting here all the way through. We were talking offline for a little bit, and you were saying how you got 60 points and you won Supporters Shield.
Yeah.
We got 60 points and we're in the top 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that just proves that the competitive nature and the more amount of games that these teams have played, there's more credit to them and even getting this far, especially on the expansion side. It's almost like we forgot about that. This team is not supposed to do this well, right?
Yeah.
And here we are getting into playoffs on decision day. Hopefully,
We're spoiled,
being able to
Marv.
So spoiled.
Again, first year breaking the points record for an expansion team, breaking the win total for an expansion team with still one regular season game left to go. This team will be traveling to Portland. The last time these two teams paired up, it was back in Snapdragon Stadium, 0-0 result.
0-0.
What can we
remember that,
see
yeah.
in this game? What do you guys expect?
Yeah, Sal, Mr. Portland. You played up there for a little bit, and they make their runs when it comes to playoff time. So
They do, and that atmosphere up there is legit. It's real. I mean, those fans, they feel on top of you. It's a turf field, but I've always said it's a very nice turf field for MLS. It's definitely not an easy place to play. Like it's tough, and with the game meaning something for Portland, it's going to make it even tougher because Portland, specifically, they need a tie to not have to play, to verify and make sure that they don't have to play in that 8-9 game. No one would want to play in that where it's a one-game playoff to see if you kind of get in. So, yeah, it's going to mean something. Could that mean, towards the end of the game, Portland's okay to sit back and play for that draw? I mean, that's a possibility because a win actually doesn't do anything for them. They just need to stay where they are, and a tie gets them there. So that could add a little wrinkle into the game.
I was wanted to come out, just come at us as we want to draw you in so we can play around you. But again, we're going to be on turf, and the way our gameplay is so precise, the turf might have a little bit of an issue. Maybe not every ball is going to go as crisp.
You hate the turf, Marv.
I played on my first 4 years, and later on it just hurts our ankles, knees, hips, and back.
Yeah.
So now we're just old. But I'm hoping that we're going to be able to actually get a result from this team that came down here, held it to a 0-0 draw. But hopefully we can go up there and do what we do when we're away from home.
It's definitely a place that I've noticed when I was a player that I played for Portland. When teams come in there, they also get kind of like a boost playing there because it's so fun. It's such a fun atmosphere to play in. So it'll be interesting.
It's about when we walk in because the supporters are back there behind the goal and they're just shaking their keys and they're saying, "Go home." I don't know how the chant goes, but they shake their keys as you walk in. So it already kind of puts you in like a fun mood. I mean, I thought it was funny, but yeah, Portland knows how to come with it with the atmosphere. Yeah.
Reminder, SDFC is unbeaten on the road for the last 9 straight games and has an 11-4-1 record on the season on the road. That also ties the MLS season record for most road victories in a single season in the post-shootout era. So we already know what this team is capable of doing on the road. Portland is coming off of a 1-0 loss versus Seattle. That was last played. They also had a bye this past weekend, so they last played on the 4th. We are coming off of that thrilling victory over Houston, which broke those records. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, again, it's going to come down to decision day, which is what we kind of wanted. I mean, what better way to do it? The East doesn't have many implications to decision day, but the Western Conference, for sure, check it out.
A couple extra pieces of news for you guys. Just last week, the league released its 22 under 22 list, and we had 2 players on that last list, Manu Dua and Luca Bambino. Luca coming in at 9th, Manu at 15th. We're going to have Mikey on here, and we'll talk to him about his philosophy on developing young players and learning a little bit about that too. But I think it just speaks to what this team has been able to do to really elevate some of these guys that are young in their career. Yeah,
I'm interested to hear Mikey's take on that, just because for me, I felt like San Diego has done such an excellent job at integrating young players. And I'm curious to know, what that is. Is it just him feeling like he has the trust in them, where I felt like other managers over time didn't really ever have trust in young players. I'm really curious to kind of hear his take on that.
Yeah, I think his whole strategy going about this year has been risky because if you're having an expansion side, it costs however much to get into the league these days, and you want to start off by playing a bunch of young players or players that are coming in from overseas and things. A lot of other MLS coaches would go for having the team not look like a expansion side, want to look with veterans all around to make it seem like it's going to be more comfortable out there. But here, it's almost like they built it from the ground up with young players in order to solidify the whole idea or premise of the way we play coming here in San Diego. So very excited to actually listen to Mikey and see what he has to say about all this stuff. Because before, at the beginning of the year, he was saying, you know what, when you every guys talk, it's about the players. It's all about the players. It's not about me. It's about them and what they do and how they succeed. But this is going to be about him.
Well, you mentioned risk too. Like I think that's an outsider perspective would see that and say, yeah, it's risky to do that stuff. But I don't think they feel like it's a risk, right? Like they're doing everything that they feel like is probably the opposite, right? Maybe the safer way to do it. So yeah, just curious to see like his mind and his perspective on all of it.
We had the most representation on the USA U20 men's youth national team. We can talk a little bit about the World Cup coming up and just some of these guys that have been representing their countries out there. The most notable probably is Dreyer scoring a brace in that 6-0 win over Belarus. But just a reminder, 45 nations will join the host nations, US, Mexico, and Canada, to make up that field of 48 teams. We have multiple guys competing with their countries. They've been out on international break in that World Cup group stage.
Yeah.
Sal, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, funny you say that because I was actually looking up the World Cup qualifying because I always kind of keep an eye on Italy, being Italian, Yeah. So I keep an eye on them, and they're a little they got Norway in their group, so it's a little bit tough. They're kind of in that second slot right now. But I did check out Denmark and saw that they're in first place, so they're looking really good right now. As far as the U20s goes, I played in the U20s. Marv played in the U20s. Both kind of springboarded our careers, I would say. Mm-hmm. And it was a good performance from the U.S. I mean, they were able to make it to the quarters and arguably were the better team, in my opinion, and couldn't break through. And Morocco, got the win against them, which is a country that's on the rise due to their, success in the last World Cup. And now, even at the youth age, is doing really well. So, yeah, a little disappointing in the sense that, I think everybody that kept up with that tournament maybe felt like there was more to give, and they had a really good team and maybe could have even made a run at winning the whole thing. So in that sense, a little disappointing, but at the same time, there's a lot of encouraging signs, going forward for our national team.
I've got some notes in front of me here too, just for specific notes on the UEFA side and the CONCACAF side of the table. Only didn't get called up this time, but has been spending some time with Finland. They are currently sitting in third place in their group. Paddy called up to Northern Ireland. He started in both games. They are sitting in third place in their group. Anders, we've already mentioned, Denmark is doing quite well in their group, and he's played exceedingly well the last couple of times that he has, been called up to play for his national team. Anibal and Panama are tied for first place in their group with Suriname. They actually play today, so by the time that you listen to this podcast, you guys will have a result for that. I won't. Then U.S. and Mexico are already qualified, but Irving is with Mexico right now, making an appearance off the bench. So it's really exciting for these guys to be a part of this and what's going to happen in this country. And
yeah, got a lot of talent, a lot of big tournament. Obviously the World Cup coming up next summer. It's going to be, it's going to be fun. Are you going to try to make it out to a game, Marv?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I want to especially up here in SoFi.
Yeah.
Nice. One more piece of news before we send you off to two very exciting interviews. Our SDFC in the community page launched on Instagram. It's SDFC_community. Please go and check that out to keep up with everything that this club is doing in this community. But one of the primary initiatives for this club and for the community efforts is parks and pitches, specifically holding a commitment to revitalizing parks and play places. This week is the ribbon cutting ceremony of the first of many, the grand reopening of the newly refurbished multi-use sports courts at Kaila del Sol Park. So I want to give a huge shout out to the community team and all the work that they have done to be able to get to this moment and what they're going to continue to do. And please follow that account. Make sure you're keeping up with everything that this team is doing in the community, because it's more than just what is being on the field. And I think we'll talk to Mikey, I'm sure, a lot about that too, because he's very involved. But just great things to see and so much more to come.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was gonna do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions.
All right, we are very lucky to be joined by head coach Mikey Varas. Mikey, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we always love to do the first thing when we're talking to new guests on the show is to have a little bit of a background journey. So, Mikey, just tell us how you got to San Diego FC.
Born and raised in San Francisco. Father's from Chile, mother's American. So Chilean father, obviously, football was top priority my whole life. Played as a youth player in the Bay Area, ended up playing in Chile for a little bit as a youth player. Never played professionally, but got to have that kind of professional experience as a training player for a season in Chile. Started coaching really young, right after college, basically, and just loved it. I've coached every age group that there is, boys and girls. The only level I haven't coached is female professional level or national team. And then as life has it, life takes you in random directions. I met Luchi Gonzalez at a coaching course for my B license or A license, one or the other. And he ended up taking a liking to me. He brought me to Dallas to be in the academy with him. When he got promoted to the first team, he asked me to be his assistant. And then ended up U20s head coach, senior team assistant, and found my way to San Diego, which I'll say back to San Diego because I met my wife in San Diego, and she actually moved to the Bay for me when we started dating, and then got married, and so got her home after quite a long journey.
Where'd you go to high school?
So she actually she would do her school year in either Alaska or Redding because her parents were split.
Wow.
So Petersburg, Alaska, island of 3,000 people.
All right.
No, that one's out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Redding,
nice.
that's where she did like middle school, elementary, then high school in Redding. But she would do her summers every summer here.
Okay.
Her family's from South Mission Beach.
Okay. Nice.
And her grandpa, Delmar, this is a really interesting story in my opinion. He's, the sport Over the Line?
Yeah.
So he's a founding
Yes, the
member
island,
of OMBAC. So he was one of the kids who grew up in South Mission Beach who invented that game.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Wow, interesting.
That's awesome. What has it been like for you to come back to San Diego, as you mentioned, and launch this project here?
Yeah, it's been it's a pinch yourself moment every single day, pretty much, because like San Diego's always been a special place. Obviously, I've made some of the best friends of that I have in my whole life here. I played a lot of football here as a youth player. Always loved it here. Met my wife here. And then, of course, so you got that vibe of the city that's always kind of like called you, And then when the city partnered with Right to Dream, and then you start to investigate, what's the mission and purpose behind Right to Dream, you're just like, okay, that's like right up my alley. So I couldn't have guessed it in a million years that it would work out this way, but I'm really grateful it did.
I got a question. So your style of play, Mikey Varas' style of play before coming to Right to Dream, how different was that to how it is kind of now? Because I know they had a style. Obviously, you had a style. Probably wasn't like to a T identical, but obviously it was very similar, which is probably part of the reason why they hired you here. What was different and what kind of flowed and worked together?
I think one of the advantages that I had is that it became apparent in the interview process that we were aligned probably at a 99 to 98%
Okay.
degree. Every topic that we talked about,
Interesting.
whether I asked them a question or they asked
Yeah.
me a question, we saw it the same way. There were some language differences, right? Because the style of play was developed in Denmark. I have a Latino background, so some of the words and how we describe things, but that's not the most important thing. The concept is, and then those 1% to 2% things that were different. I know for me, it really piqued my interest on how they might have saw it a little bit different.
Okay.
And so I'm a pretty curious person. So then I started kind of like contemplating or reflecting it, and I could see really good benefits for how they saw those little margins a little different. And I think that my first visit to FCN and talking to them about some of the things that I saw, I could see that same curiousness in them also. So then there's also that match that I think we both just want, we both clearly wanted just to get to a place where we feel like we have the best possible style of play for the way we see the game.
Yeah.
And it's not about being right or wrong, but it's about actually learning to try to be as good as possible.
When talking to the players that have come on the podcast and even some of the coaches, there's a huge familial vibe through everybody. So having the same kind of ideas as Right to Dream and SDFC when you're first coming in, how do you go about getting these players that seem to all just be able to click the way they are? I mean, the scouting process isn't just can they perform on the field, but also seems like that they're also somebody else who is a good leader, a good individual, and willing to coach others or help others, or again, just have that kind of bond.
Yeah, I think that starts kind of from a leadership perspective of, valuing connection. So connection within and then between. So making sure people know who you are first, right? And then want to do it with and for other people. And then that aligns to making sure you get the right people in the building. This is like the number one thing you need to do, because you can have all the great ideas in the world, but if you don't get the right cultural fits in the building, people who selfishly want to be part of something bigger than themselves, and it's really hard. And I think the organization top to bottom has just done a great job of bringing really good people in the building, people who want to get better, who have that growth mindset, but people who are really competitive and want to have high standards too.
I think something that's been interesting to watch this team develop from kind of the ground up and see everyone come together is just how you've been able to instill these values and even really leading on the team to kind of build those. What can you share us about what the team has done and what you've helped lead them to do to create what their identity is?
Yeah, I think so. The overarching philosophy is like our job as leaders and as a staff is to set the standard and to be the role model for that standard and make sure that standard is really high and the expectations are clear and they're really high. But the dream is ultimately that the players meet those standards and then they lift us up the final meters, that they take ownership over it and say, we got you from here, right? And they take us the rest of the way. And it's just a couple meters we need them to take us when we set the first standard. And so we've done a lot of things where it requires dialogue and partnership. So it can't just be us dictating everything. I think in the beginning, it was about setting clear expectations, giving general guidelines, explaining what the values were, the style of play was. But then it was about having them decide on what the definition of a great teammate is, for example, and letting them own that. And then referencing that over and over again, or letting them have a voice in the video session, letting them have a big voice in the locker room when it comes to pregame, postgame, stuff like that. And then ultimately, in my opinion, it's about, again, getting the right people. I don't want to be the star of this, right? I want to be a small part of something massively amazing. And in order to do that, knowing just like when to take a step back and let other people take charge of things, I think has been really important.
When you look, and I know there's still one game left in the regular season and then playoffs, but you look back on what this team has been able to accomplish so far, what makes you the most proud?
The most proud for me is like when I walk in this facility every single day, there's a clear energy. And the energy reflects the values that I feel deep down in my bones. And that's what makes me happy every single day. and makes me feel like we're moving in the direction that we need to be moving in, because this club will be a giant 10, 15, 50 years from now. And a lot of us will be gone. All of us will be gone maybe. And what we do now matters in terms of where the club ends up, because we're pushing the ship in a certain direction right now. And the fact that every single day, whether it's the janitorial crew, it's the people in the kitchen, it's the staff, it's the players, it's the media team, it's the brand, whoever's here, the academy, it's a clear energy that is like, we're all here for a reason. That reason is to be elite, and how we treat each other matters. And that makes me happier and more proud than anything else.
With all your experiences from the youth side of things, you come here, first time being head coach of a expansion side, has the whole idea and premise, and so you say one of your strengths is building up younger talent and then having them be able to get to the level of professional or national team level?
I think I have a lot of experience in helping develop conditions where talent can thrive. And I'll never take credit for developing talent, because I always say, like, we have to be so careful because words matter. You know, there's 4 ingredients, in my opinion, for like the development of a professional player. It's 1, their talent, and that's theirs. That comes from their mom, their dad, their grandpa, their ancestors. I mean, they are born with something. Then the second thing is motivation, and that also has to come from them. You know, too many times you hear the story of that guy was so talented, but just didn't want it.
True.
And that also is driven from inside the player. And these are 2 things that you can never take credit for. The third one is environment. And that's where I think it's our job to step in and create an environment where they're given clarity, they're given clear expectations, there's enough training stimulus that's individually thought of to help them thrive, right? And then the fourth one is opportunity. So Chris McVeigh gets put on the the prelim for the men's. He didn't get selected, but he makes that step. That's a massive step. And he says, thank you to me. I tell you how to thank me. Because he's the one who takes all of those steps. We set conditions, but they got to walk the path, you know? But I do think that with my experiences and with the way that I see the world, because I believe in people, and everything with me starts from a level of high trust. I think that we do a good job of setting conditions for talent to thrive and to make those next steps if they're willing to make the steps.
When you're setting up, like, probably not go dive too deep into it, but in order to have these players keep thinking that they have opportunity, it seems like you've done that, because it seems like you can put any player on the field almost in any position at any time. And has that built up through the confidence they do throughout the week in training? Or is it just, this just might be your time? Is it necessarily every week they're playing for a starting position and more opportunities to be seen and put on the pitch?
Yeah, that's connected to the value of embracing competition. Like, here, nothing is just a given. It's an honor to play. It's not a right to play, and you have to earn it every week in training. And then it's also connected to, we believe in, whether you're playing 90 minutes every week or 0 minutes, we have to give you the same attention in training and the same individual plan, like depth of individual plan. Why? Because we want to make our squad as big as possible. And there's a few ways you do that. 1, you sign more players. There's a limit at some point. 2, you sign players who are versatile, who can play in multiple positions. So now you don't have 1 player, but you have 2 players, right? Or 3. And then 3 is you train everybody up, so that when and if their number is called, they feel the clarity and the confidence that they know what to do. Because the worst thing for a player is having doubt about what is my role, what is expected of me, can I do it? And our job is to eliminate as much of that doubt as possible for them, so that they can just go out there and play.
What I find really unique is your from an outsider perspective, your trust in young players, in comparison to a lot of coaches that I feel like maybe it takes longer to get a young player in there, or maybe they just don't have the trust because they maybe feel the pressure for wins and losses, whatever. But would you say your trust and your willingness to give opportunities to young players is because, you grew up coaching the youth and you have so much experience and kind of maybe the mentality of some of these young players?
I definitely think my experiences have helped shape me, right? Coming from the youth background, being in Dallas where we had the youngest team in the league, still made playoffs, seeing some of these guys make massive steps, seeing Pepe play Champions League, and knowing he debuted with us when he was 16. Coaching a U20 group where we would play first teams in preseason, and I get it, it's preseason, but those guys were in preseason too, and be able to hold their own and compete. I think all of that is, but it actually, for me, it also comes down to I trust talent. I trust talent that is willing to be part, to make a collective better. So whether that talent's 35 years old or 16 years old, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. What I know about high levels of talent and motivation is those people will typically continue to adapt and get better and better and better, which is why there are players who go until they're 36, 37, 40, 41. And it's also why a 17-year-old can look like, he kind of looks like young and a little bit scared out there for first 5 games and all of a sudden be tearing it up 12 games later. So it has a lot to do with not just their age, but their ability level and their motivation and their drive.
Yeah, that goes back to me thinking of Manu Dua, who in that away game against Dallas, right? He turns around, he plays that ball back, and leads to their goal. And you mentioned, I think it was in the press conference or after, it was a mistake, but that doesn't deter me from ever playing him again. And now you look at the run that he's on, and I just think back to some coaches I've had. Marv, you probably had coaches where it's like that one mistake, you're done, right? Yeah. Especially as a young player, you're mentally, and then you're not playing anymore. And
100%.
It's crazy.
I don't believe in it's very few one mistakes should cost you anything in life, in my opinion. So there's a couple things. One, the important thing with Manu early on was, Manu, can you learn from this? And can you get better from it? Right? And he showed, even though he made some mistakes along the way, and he'll continue to make some mistakes, but he's showing that he can adapt and learn. So I say, okay, I believe in your future. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, then at some point it's like, okay, you're not learning. And then the second thing is, for all players, try to find a little bit of consistency. So I don't believe in coaches changing too fast. Because again, our job is to eliminate as much doubt as possible, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And you have one bad game, or you make one bad mistake, and then you're out. The message is, you better never mess up ever again. And so now I've increased doubt in you. Now, I give a guy a chance to be the starting player in a position, and he doesn't do well the first game. I go with him the second game. He doesn't do well the second game. I go with him a third game. He still doesn't do well the third game. Okay, we're going to try someone else. And I think that the player will respect you at the end of the day and say, man, you gave me a chance. You gave me a shot. And you kept trying, you kept giving me that chance. And I think that's important, because then they got a fair shot to really let themselves be who they need to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heading into the last game of the regular season and then playoffs for the first time in club history for this. I remember listening to an interview where you said at the beginning of the season, before there were even a full roster of players, that you wanted to play exciting football in the team that fights for you for San Diego. What can you say about what the team has done and will hope to continue to do in the playoffs?
I hope that people who watch us play feel that the boys have exceeded expectations, because it's a team that fights every single second of the game. They're so brave to play and to play under high levels of pressure and keep going. And they do it every single day, is what I can say. I'm never surprised in the games, because I see what they do every single day on the training pitch, and how they recover from adversity and mistakes and what their intentions are as a group. So I hope that people see that we meant that we wanted to be a reflection of the community, and that we were here to win, but the how and the who we win with really does matter.
And you mentioned the community. It's no, surprise to anyone. You always talk about how much this community means to you, but just give you a chance to talk about just what San Diego has been able to show up for you, the supporters, the fans, everyone who's been, supporting all season long. What they've
Yeah, it's the same as the players. I think everybody should look at San Diego and say, okay, this is why there needed to be a professional, men's professional team here, because it's a community that loves the sport, loves their city. You walk around San Diego and you see people wearing not only SDFC stuff, but San Diego State stuff, Padres stuff, Wave stuff. It's a community that loves where they are. And I think it's a community that also reflects well back on us, right? Because it's a creative one, a one that has its own vibe. Has a lot of confidence, but doesn't have to show it off. And then it's also a very competitive community. And what I always say is, like, people who don't know, you'll say, oh, you have good weather from San Diego, right? You probably like the easy life. You're maybe a little bit soft. But what you don't realize is, like, the sacrifices that so many people make to live here because they love the place, and how many hours they got to work and what types of jobs they got to work to afford living in such an expensive place. I say that we have a really tough community too.
Awesome. Well, that's all we have for you guys. Thank you so much for the time, Mikey. Really appreciate it. And
Yeah, appreciate
we'll
you all.
see you guys all. If you're not traveling to Portland, we do have watch parties. Please stay tuned to our socials for all information on how you can go and support for the last regular game of the season. Thank you. Single match tickets for San Diego FC's Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoff matches are on sale now at sandiegofc.com/playoffs. Fans can secure their seats to witness the club's first postseason run and be a part of this milestone moment in San Diego soccer history. 2026 SDFC season ticket members receive guaranteed access to purchase playoff tickets with the best value and best seats. Fans interested in becoming a season ticket member can visit sandiegofc.com/memberships for more information. Fans can learn more about tickets, playoff format, and more by visiting sandiegofc.com/playoffs.
Hey everybody, this is Darren Smith. I host a radio show called SDFC Midweek Live. You can hear it Wednesday nights, 6 o'clock on San Diego Sports 760 and anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Join me, Adrian Garcia Marquez, Warren Barton, SDFC players and staff. It's the only hour on local radio dedicated 100% to San Diego Football Club and the beautiful game.
All right, we are joined by founding partner of San Diego FC and Padres third baseman, Manny Machado. Manny, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
First of all, just tell us, you've been exploring the facility today. Tell us a little bit about your day.
It's been great seeing the guys out there working out. They're getting after it right now, which is pretty cool to see. Kind of saw the facility a little bit, locker room, weight room, cafeteria. Pretty nice, kind of nicer than ours in San Diego. So we might have to do a little fix there, but it's been a great experience to kind of see it come up. Kind of first time here since groundbreaking. So to see it live, it's been pretty nice to see. It's definitely top of the line and super nice.
A
honestly.
lot of development since 2023 when that groundbreaking was to now this team towards the end of the season. It's exciting to see. I'm sure you've got so many favorite moments so far from this season. Just tell us a little bit about your journey and being a part of this club since day one.
It's been awesome to see. I mean, just following the team, obviously being a fan, being, seeing it firsthand, seeing how it kind of all came about. I think that's the funnest part about it. And then seeing it actually be real, seeing it on the pitch, seeing it on the field, seeing it on the road, seeing the fans come together. Obviously, it's been a tremendous season for us. I don't think a lot of people expected us to be here, but here we are. I think we got a great group of guys. It looks like they they get along really well and play a good ball. But just seeing it come about, I think it's pretty cool.
How did it all start for you to become a part of this ownership group, to become a club founding partner? How did that all come about?
Oh man, it's crazy because my agent's been kind of brought it up to me years ago. I mean, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 years ago. Even before I was in San Diego, kind of like, hey, are you interested in this? There might be an opportunity somewhere, not in San Diego, elsewhere. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, absolutely. I love soccer and I'd love to be a part of it. I know MLS is going to continue to grow. Then, fast forward a couple of years, you get to San Diego and you start meeting some people, and I get a phone call one day. It's like, hey, would you be interested in becoming an owner? I was like, absolutely, I would love to. I mean, especially in San Diego, absolutely. And that phone call. I mean, obviously, it was very close friends of us that they were actually trying to. Crazy part was they were trying to get a hold of us and they couldn't, between agents and friends, and finally they got a hold of us and they gave us the news. And I think obviously it was a no-brainer for us. I think we wanted to be something. I mean, coming here to San Diego as a player, we wanted to impact the city in whatever way we can, whether it's kids, adults, the foundations that we do around the city. We really want to impact the city, and what bigger way to do that than bringing an MLS team to the city of San Diego and doing it for the fans. And it's been an amazing journey, and very blessed to be and have this opportunity. So it's been awesome to know Cody and Josh and the Monsieur family. It's been awesome to be partners with them.
On top of all that, you're doing this in the city that you play in front of the fans that you play for, getting to bring this experience to them. How does that make this more special for you?
I honestly, it's when I came here 19 as a player, it was by far one of the best atmospheres I've ever been a part of. Obviously, we became better as a team. We made the postseason a few times. Obviously, COVID happened. And then seeing the fans come after that year was amazing. So I knew the fan base was there. They love sports here. Something about San Diego that some people don't know. I mean, they're obsessed with sports. They're obsessed with the Chargers when they were here. They love the Padres. They love their San Diego State, San Diego University. I mean, they just love sports. They support their community, and I think that's huge for a fan base. You don't really see that often. So I knew that they were going to do the same with soccer. And obviously you see it the first day that we went to the first game. I mean, it was sold out. I mean, most of the games are sold out here. And, they've embraced this. They embraced the team. They've embraced, the FC club. And, it's something that it's just the fans here in San Diego. They're just special. They're just special. And there's, I've been a part of some good, pretty cool ones, some pretty cool fan bases, and they're definitely up there with the best.
You mentioned a bit ago your fandom for soccer, following it the last couple of years. When did that start for you? When did you become a fan of soccer?
So I became a fan when I was actually when I signed into pro sports. And well, it was a little bit before that, I'm not gonna lie. The Brazilian World Cup, I was a big Brazil fan. And then when I really got into it was in 2010. I kind of got into it. I fell in love with Messi in Barcelona, and I kind of just started following the sport, and I kind of just got addicted to it and watched it and fell in love. And it was a battle between Messi and Ronaldo, and I kind of like watching the two superstars. Obviously, I just got into baseball, into professional sports, so I kind of wanted to see the best athletes in the world, how they compete, how they went about business, and how they competed against each other. And it kind of, helped me out in my career as well. And just started following it since then, and kind of just continue to grow and continue to grow for the love of it.
Did you ever play as a kid?
I never did. No, did I was So my family was, they're more in baseball and basketball. I'm from Dominican Republic. So in Dominican, soccer wasn't big. Not a lot of people played. So it was just literally baseball. A little bit of basketball. My dad played basketball, but in Dominican Republic, it was all baseball. So I really didn't grow up with soccer. I kind of, I always joke around. I would say I always had 2 left feet to play. So I never played, but definitely now my son's definitely going to play. I mean, he's out there right now dribbling and playing. I mean, I think it's his best day that he's ever had in his life, being out there right now. So I think it skips a generation.
No better place to pick it up than in San Diego.
No,
so.
Absolutely.
When you at the announcement in 2023, and you were talking about just the reasons for this club specifically, you mentioned Right to Dream and the role that plays in this organization. What does that mean to you to be a part of this bigger organization?
Yeah, it's kind of so from my foundation, we always want to help. We want to help kids, right? Where I grew up, I kind of grew up with very limited resources, so. I kind of wanted to, really impact that kids in the same way I grew up, and obviously, Right to Dream is a perfect example of that. And it just kind of, I wanted, like when I found out about it, I kind of I had envisioned myself doing the same thing with my foundation for baseball. It's very hard for baseball to, find opportunities like that, scholarships. Get them into a college, obviously play the sport, teach them the sport, but most important, school. It's about education. So I wanted to do it for baseball, and I saw Right to Dream. I'm like, man, I want to be a part of that. I want to help out. I want to learn about it. I want to see what they've done, how they grew to have 3 facilities all over the world, 4 facilities, be one of the biggest academies in the world. And be a part of that, because I think at the end of the day, is this generation that's coming next is what's going to impact us. It's going to impact the world, and for us to have an ability to be a part of that, I think is kind of special. And seeing it firsthand is where I wanted to be, and I want to be a part of it.
You met some of these young student athletes. You had them out to BP not too long ago. What did you think of meeting these kids?
They're funny. They're funny, man. They're I always say kids these days are a little different, but they're awesome. They're excited to see the sport. It was some kids from San Diego, some kids across the world. Seeing them there with my bobblehead, seeing them see BP, they were asking a lot of questions, which was kind of actually great, because some of the kids, they see us ball players, and that's the difference between, some of these athletes that they're athletes, they're asking a lot of questions. Every person that walked by, they were asked Toddy, they were asked Jackson, they were asked all these players that walked by, they were asking them questions. But just seeing their face, how happy they were getting a jersey. They gave me a jersey signed by the team that I have in my locker, which was kind of cool, kind of special, So, it was pretty cool to have them out and see their faces, and kind of show them like what a big league style is. And now seeing them, hopefully get to the MLS or even to the Premier League or wherever they end up. But just knowing that moment there will probably impact, whether it's one or all of the kids that were there, could impact them in whatever way, shape, or form that could stick to them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you're a part of their journey basically from day one too, and you will have a lot of influence in their growth and development, which has got to be really cool for someone in your position to be able to give back to the community that you're playing for. Yeah,
love it. I love seeing there was some kids from San Diego that were there, and they're like, man, I watched you when you played here, your first year, man. You're my favorite player, and I play sports because of you, and I want to be just like you. So I mean, hearing those things, I think are what kind of this is why we do it.
You've been part of so many moments for this club, the groundbreaking, the announcement ceremony, the brand reveal. You were the first keeper of the flow at the inaugural home match. What has this journey been like for you, seeing it all come together, and what have been your favorite moments so far?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was actually kind of nervous for it, because they told me what it was and what I was going to do. And I was like, man, I honestly, I played played in the World Series. I played in the World Baseball Classic. I played in front of our fans postseason. I was never nervous, but grabbing that and pulling it up, I was kind of nervous. I'm not going to lie.
You set in momentum what is our ritual for the rest of the season.
That's what it was. I mean, I set it in stone, and I guess my nervousness got it going.
The energy going.
The energy and I mean, it was pretty cool to be a part of it. Seeing the anthem right before it, holding it, going out there, seeing the fans, the smoke. I mean, it was just a lot of energy in that stadium that day, and it was pretty cool to be on there. And it wasn't just me being I'm a player, so I've been on the same side as a player, and it was completely different. I mean, it was a completely different feeling, something I've never felt before, and I was kind of, I mean, I get goosebumps even talking about it because it was that intense, that much energy going on, and obviously we're setting history, right? I mean, it was history being a part of that. So me being there, doing that, being part of that as well, kind of just. I mean, it's just. I mean, I haven't even no words to describe it. Honestly, it was just pretty cool, and obviously we didn't win the game, but just being there, watching it after, was special. I mean, that's up there with one of my most special moments.
And then you brought your teammates to come celebrate with you and do it again the next time. What was that like to be able to share that with them?
It was so cool the first day as my family, we went out and we saw it. I got back to spring training and I was like, dude, like you guys, like we had Joe there talking about it. Like, I mean, he's from San Diego and he was like, man, how was it? And I was like, man, like there was nothing like it. Like we're going. And I literally the night we're flying back to spring training from the first home game. And I'm like, all right, I looked at the schedule. I'm like, all right, boom, perfect day. I'm like, I don't care. We got a game. We're going out. I'm going to talk to Shield tomorrow. I'm taking the team. I'm taking them. We're going to go watch a game. We have to watch because our home games don't really align with the home games as well for the club. So like we weren't going to have a lot of opportunities to go. So I was like, it's spring training. It doesn't matter. Like we're going. So the guys were pumped. I told them like, hey, 17, we're going to the home game. We're going to go play. Obviously, it was a great game, but we're going. So we got a PJ. We came over here. I mean, it was 16 of us or 14 of us, 14 or 15 of us. We all got here on the way. We're excited for the game. We get to the stadium. Nobody knew that we're going to do the flow. And it was going to be Joe, obviously. I was like, hey, like, I think it should be Joe. He's from the hometown. It'll be special. And nobody knew what was going to happen. So we're all there. We're kind of just hanging. We met Chucky. Chucky comes in. We meet him right before going out. We go out and I'm like, hey, Joe, like, you're going to grab this and you're going to be the keeper of the flow. And he's like, what? And he's like, I'm like, yeah, like, it's going to be you. Like, he's like, I got this. So we go out there. Everyone's out there. Everyone starts walking out. I mean, I think everyone was just like, dude, I mean, like, we went crazy. I mean, we weren't holding back. I think the team wasn't holding back. I think it was like our off day. No one was holding back. Toddy wasn't holding back. Joe, Jackson, I mean, none of us. I mean, we're just taking full advantage of this. And it was such a cool moment for us as a team to kind of just start. And honestly, to start the team bonding for us. I think as a team, you start every year, you start team bonding. You kind of start something as a team to kind of like, when things go bad, you kind of always go back to one thing. And it was a good moment for us to like kind of bond as a group and kind of take it into the season for us. And, we just go out there. We had a great time. We actually, which is pretty cool, when we're sitting in our seats, I mean, obviously there was 4 or 5 goals. I mean, it was unbelievable game for us. I mean, we brought the luck. I'm not gonna,
the energy, the luck, you brought the flow.
Everything, we just brought it. But we actually caught a soccer ball came towards us.
I was gonna pull that up. I have the photo.
Oh, you do?
Yes, of you guys catching the ball. I was gonna ask you about that
moment.
moment.
Look at that. I mean, it was super bizarre because we're just sitting there watching the game. We're all excited and we just see the ball coming towards us. I mean, it's just you don't see it. You don't see it, and it doesn't happen, especially where we're at. And the ball's just coming towards us, and we're like, oh. I'm like, it was me. I forgot who was sitting next to me.
Who caught it?
We actually, believe it or not, I dropped it. It kind of went right through my hands, and I kind of embarrassed about it, because like you should have caught that. Like, how do you not catch that? And it was bogey, and we catch it, and we just look at each other like, we just actually got a ball. And then all of a sudden, we all just get up and we're like, yeah! And we go crazy with the ball, and
it was crazy.
It was insane. I mean, it just happened to be like, and then we actually use the ball in the stadium, and we kick balls that Bogey uses it all the time. Bogey's like, yeah, this is mine. I'm taking it home. Like, on the plane back home, we're all passing it around, and Bogey at the end is like, this is coming with me, because he uses it all the time at the stadium. He uses it pregame and goes out there and shoots around and kicks.
How has it been like for you? You've got all of your teammates buying, supporting. We've seen the videos of Jackson Merrill's SDFC inspired sleeve. Kind of give us the backstory of that and what it means to you to have that support from your teammates.
I didn't even know until one day we're getting dressed for the game, and I look over and I kind of see like an orange sleeve, and I'm like, whatever. Like, everyone wears different colors, right? Like, we're all pretty cool about it, and I'm like, man, like, it kind of looks like our colors. And he comes up to me, he comes running, he kind of sees that I'm kind of like staring at him. And he comes up to me, he's like, hey, you like my cleats? And I look down, I see his cleats, and I'm like, oh, they're pretty cool. Yeah. He's like, yeah, bro, they're FCs. And I was like, huh, okay. He's like, yeah, man, like, I gotta show support for you,
That's
for
awesome.
you and my team, and and he's bought straight into it. Like, it's been unbelievable. Joe, I mean, there's games that we come in as a team, and it's our 540 games kind of overlap always. So, like, I'm actually one of the trainers. Like, he shouldn't know this, but, like, I made him download the app on his phone. So, like, while he's in the dugout, I'm like, yo, what's the score? Like, did we score? Did you get any buzzes or what? Like, what's going on? And as soon as the game's over, we all go in and we put it on the TV, and we all watch as a team. And that's the thing about us. Like, we support everyone. I mean, if it was basketball, if it was whatever it is, obviously it's the FC, and we want to see them succeed. We want to see the city succeed. At the end of the day, it's all about the city and how we unite as a group. Because that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And all the guys in there, I mean, they love the gifts, they love the jerseys that I give them and the hats, and they're fully on board. If they weren't soccer fans, they're truly soccer fans now, because they've watched so much of the season this year.
That's amazing. Favorite moment for you on the field for San Diego FC? Do you have a favorite goal or a favorite on-field play?
I think it was that first goal. I think when Dreyer made it in the opening match. I mean, I think that was by far the best goal, and the proudest moment, because it's kind of like you kind of see everything develop, right? You see groundbreaking, you see the team expansion, you see the jerseys unveiling, you just see everything kind of leading up to that moment, right? And then finally it's here, and it's like, boom, there it is. You beat. I mean, you're winning. You're beating the defending champs, which is on top of that. I mean, I think it just adds to another level to it. But I think that was the most special moment, just because of the build up to it, right? And then you finally get there. I think everyone's kind of nervous about it, and then you finally go out there and you get one, and then you get another, and then it's like, wow, we're up, and you get the first win on the road against the defending champs. I think doesn't get better than that.
And speaking of Anders, the team was all recently at Petco Park for Anders to do the first pitch ceremony. The whole team surrounding him there on the mound. What was that like for you to be able to see that?
It was pretty cool. I think first, I mean, it was actually a good throw. I think he was a little nervous for it, but it was a great throw. Short hopped it a little bit, but I probably swing at that same pitch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big chaser, so I chase. But just seeing them all there, surrounded, getting the support from the fans. I think this city has been great. I think they've been great to me. I think they're great to all their players. They support all their players through thick and thin. Good and bad. I mean, no matter what. And I think, seeing them up there and kind of taking it in and enjoying baseball, I think it's something different for them to watch and see. So, kind of, reminded me of a little bit of unity, kind of like us uniting as a whole group, for one cause, which is the city, and to bring championships to the city that the fans deserve. And, which was pretty cool. And I get up there, and after they were kind of all the guys were kind of like, kind of funny because it's kind of like baseball. We're all kind of like chit chatting and kind of like throwing jabs at each other and messing around with everyone, and kind of started, kind of telling Dryer that he kind of short hopped it, that he kind of messed up, and he's been practicing for so long to do it, and he short hops it. So it was kind of fun to see that they're just like us, and it was pretty cool.
The team actually threw tryouts to be able to see who was going to throw the first pitch. So everyone
had a
after
chance.
Warm-ups, went out and practiced their throws.
And who had the best throw?
Well, Anders won.
Oh man, I would love to see that. I would love to see all those throws.
For sure.
Wow, love to see that.
All right, and a message to the fans: they support you. Now they're also supporting San Diego FC. What is your message to the fans as San Diego FC goes on to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, continue to support. At the end of the day, they've been here since day one, and truly know that they're going to be there at the last day, and get ready for the playoffs. I mean, I think San Diego's loves playoffs. Obviously, we fell short. We didn't have one on the baseball side, but now we have an opportunity to do something special on the football side, and I expect them to be there. I expect them to give their all like they've always done, and get ready for the postseason in FC.
Will you be there?
Absolutely, I'll be there. Oh. Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
See you there. Any final message to this team? They're going into the last game of the regular season and then on to playoffs for the first time in club history for them. Any message to the team?
Honestly, just go out there and play the game that they played, all year. It's nothing different. Obviously, it's a playoff. But at the end of the day, we have a great team. We have great leadership. We have a great head coach. Play as a team, continue to play as a team, continue to do the little things that count, and play the game that they've been playing all year. It's nothing different, and enjoy yourselves. I think, what they've accomplished this year as a whole, as a group, as a club, is special. And it's something that's obviously going to go in the record books, first time in history. So be proud of that. I think that's a great honor to be a part of. And, at the end of the day, like I tell everyone, enjoy yourself. You're playing the game that you love. Go out there and leave it on the pitch. And hopefully we come up with 2 victories pretty quickly and move on to the next round and, do it in front of the home crowd, which is the best. And, at the end of the day, it's about, the guys that's right next to you and try to enjoy every moment of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll leave it on that. I really appreciate all the time and everything that you've done for this club and being a part of all these great moments. Manny, thank you for joining the pod.
No problem. Thank you.